Hello, welcome back to the channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings. We generally like to talk a lot of bollocks, tabletop gaming in general, and in this video we're going to be talking about a card collection game. We're going to be talking about Gay Sauna, and in this game you will be perusing around a gay sauna. You'll be trying to pick up blokes to take them home and share a couple of pea protein shakes. So in this video we're going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules, telling you what we do like, what we don't like. Then we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Gay Sauna is worth your time and bother today and in the future. So remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button and all that YouTube bullshit. We'll see you after this. Bollocks. So, Gay Sauna, how'd you play this game? So Gay Sauna is like a card collection game for 1 to 6 players, right? You're going to put the board out in the centre of the table, and depending on the number of players, you're going to randomly draw a number of cruising areas. These are the rooms in the Gay Sauna where you're going to be picking up these blokes, right? Each of these rooms has a special ability attached to it. You might end up sticking your beak into the washrooms, and it says do not draw an event card in this room, right? You might end up in a locker room, and it says players may use an item carried by another player instead of their own this turn, right? Or you might end up stuck in the maze. I can't think of anything more scary than that. And it says you must place visitors face down in this room, probably because you can't see who the fuck you're dealing with, right? So each player is going to draw a card from the visitor deck, and this will be your persona for the duration of the game. You'll get a couple of item tokens that you'll be able to use on your turn to do different things. You might be able to take the vibrating toy, and it says the player gains 1 horniness when flirting successfully, right? Or you might pull a douche out your pocket, and it says this player can re-roll the sex dice after flirting, right? And you'll get 3 mischief cards that will provide a little bit of take that during the course of the game. So you might draw the big cock, big feet card, and it says you and all foot fanatic players gain 1 horniness. You'll move the marker up on that big giant dick thing on your player board. Or you might draw the drunk fake fisters card, and this says replace all fister visitors with new ones from the queue. And we're not talking about Alexander Fister here, we're talking about something completely different. Or you might want to get involved in the spontaneous orgy, and this one says all players may pick up 1 mischief card, right? So once you have resolved the event phase, then you move on to the action phase. You'll get to resolve 2 actions. You can flirt with a visitor. You'll see on the board there are a number of visitors that are mooching around the Gay Sauna, right? And you'll select one of these visitors from the current room, and you'll get to try and flirt with them. You'll see that each of the cards has a type icon on it, and you'll have to match your type icon with any of the 3 type icons on the top of the visitor card. If you do this, then this bloke likes you, right? It'll make it easier to flirt with them, right? If they don't like you, then you have to spend 1 horniness point. These are the points on that big massive dick like we talked about earlier, right? You'll spend 1 of them, and then you'll roll the flirting dice and consult the table in the rule book. So for instance, if you roll a heart, it's always a success. If you roll the top and bottom symbol, it's a yes if it's 1 top and 1 bottom only. Or for instance, if you roll the double kinky icon, it's a yes if you've got 2 kinks in common, right? And you'll also roll the sex die as well. This will generally give you bonuses, like if you roll a great sex symbol, then you'll gain 1 horniness. Or if you roll the 2 rough symbol, then you'll lose 1 horniness. Stands to reason, have you smashed in. So the next action you could do is you could stroke yourself. I know a lot of you at the back do this anyway, right? But this is just a game, it's not reality. By doing this, you'll gain 2 horniness. You can use 2 actions to do this twice, right? But again, I suppose a lot of you do this every day, don't you? You can hang in the bar. You can place 1 of your bar tokens on one of the 8 places at the bar, or you can find mischief, and this allows you to draw a mischief card. These mischief cards will tell you when you can play them. So for instance, you might want to play this sweet talker. It says at any time the current player selects 2 visitors to flirt with as a single action. Roll the flirting dice for each. Only roll the sex dice once if necessary, right? Or you might want to bring with you the protective towel. Everyone needs a protective towel at least once in their life. And it says at any time the current player ignores all the effects of the current cruising area. You cannot be used with the dark room, the maze, the playrooms, or the washrooms, right? Or you might want to play the maybe scat is my thing card. And it says after a sex dice roll, your horniness is set to 6 when the oops symbol is rolled on the sex die. The oops symbol symbol is the poo symbol, and one can only guess as to what this actually means. So the round ends when everyone's taken their turn and done 2 actions, and then you'll do a bit of cleanup. You'll keep doing this until all the cruising cards have been used up, right? And then you'll go on to the lights on phase. This is like a last chance to grab one of the hangers on the bar. It's a bit like the sort of ip-dip dog shit thing you used to do at school when picking players for your football team, right? No one wanted to pick that one-legged donut, did they? So yeah, you'll complete this, and then the player with the most pickups in front of them will be the winner of Gay Sauna. So what do we like about Gay Sauna? So the first thing that we like about this is that the designer has taken a massive risk with the theme of this game, right? It's not very often that you see games related to gay saunas, right? In fact, this is probably the only game that I've seen related to gay saunas, and there's not really that many sort of LGBTQ plus games in existence. I think the last one I saw was Game Monopoly. It was released in the 80s, which is a bit of a collector's item. So the designer has pushed the boat out a little bit, and we always applaud designers that take risks in games, right? Designers now are being forced by the Twitterati and pressure from social media to wrap their games up in cotton wool. Everybody is offended about fucking everything these days, right? And this game basically takes that idea and basically shoves it up your bum bum. Some of the double entendres in this game are tongue-in-cheek, and he does actually reference that gag in the rulebook, right? So kudos to the designer for taking a massive bloody risk with this one. So the second thing that we like about Gay Sauna is the huge deck of visitor cards, right? You're never going to come into contact with the same person twice in the Gay Sauna, and that is probably a good thing. Okay, a few of these are doubles and triples, yeah, but there is a huge diverse array of people for you to take home and pummel with your ramrod. So the next thing that we like about Gay Sauna is that it plays up to 6 players. You could have a veritable Roman orgy with this one if that's what you want to do, and there's not that much downtime with a full player count either. You're just going to be picking a card and matching it up and then rolling a die, and it'll be moving on to the next player, right? So it's a short, sharp shock to the system, and it doesn't outstay its welcome, a bit like those blokes that you will take home when playing this game, yeah? So what don't we like about Gay Sauna? So the first thing that we don't like about it is there is no game in the box, right? All you're going to be doing is picking a card, matching a couple of symbols, and then rolling a couple of dice. I'm struggling here to think how this is actually a board game, right? Matching symbols, rolling a couple of dice, and consulting the table. I mean, it's not a board game, is it? Okay, you've got a few things that you're going to throw in, like the mischief cards and the items that are going to change things up a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's a completely random experience, right? And it's pointless. It's pointless. You might as well just roll a couple of dice and consult the table and just screw everything else. No pun intended. So yeah, random die rolls and card matching doesn't make a decent ball game for me. So the second thing that we don't like about this game is that the rulebook doesn't explain what the different cards mean and where you are meant to put them. Okay, this is a prototype and maybe it's going to be fixed in the final version, right? But it mentions about the cruising cards, tells you to put them in their respective spot, but it doesn't tell you on the board where this is. There's also something about a queue, and I didn't really know what they were talking about, yeah? If you add to this that the setup is on a different page to the components, you're going to be flipping backwards and forwards thinking, well, what cards are these? Oh, they're them. Oh, what cards are these? They're them. But again, you're not going to know where they go. You're just going to have to put 2 and 2 together for yourself, right? So yeah, the rule book, it needs an overhaul and it needs to make things a lot clearer. So the final thing that we don't like about this game is that it has a very empty feel. If you look at the board, right, there's just a few squares on the board. Okay, you've got some artwork on the visitor cards, right? Got a bit of personality there, but the rooms, they're just a bunch of text on a black background, yeah? There's nothing much thematic about this game, yeah? Doesn't feel like you are sniffing around a sauna. It feels like you're putting cards onto the table and then taking them into your hand, and that's it really. So for a game that is modelled around a specific personal theme, it's severely lacking in that department, right? So is Gay Sauna worth your time and bother today and in the future? Mate, this is one of the worst games I have ever played in my life. I had high hopes for this one. The designer had taken a pretty far out theme, right, and made it into a board game. I thought that the risk taking would pay off with the mechanics, right, and sadly this is definitely not the case. What it boils down to is matching a couple of symbols on a card and then rolling a die and consulting a table. And for me, that's not even a game, yeah, it's a complete random mess. If you chuck in the Munchkin-esque take that with the mischief cards, this game becomes a real frustration, right? And I was bitterly disappointed with this one, yeah. I was expecting a hell of a lot more than just random die rolls and consulting tables, you know what I mean? So this game proves that you do need to strike a balance between theme and mechanics in each board game, right? And sadly, this game is lopsided on the theme and light on the mechanics. And as such, this game is literally an unmitigated clusterfuck. So there you go. That is Gay Sauna, the board game. Remember, if you are new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button and all that YouTube bullshit. And we'll see you next Tuesday.